Hello everyone and welcome to Amiga Waves episode 3. It's already May. The weather doesn't seem that I think it's around 4 degrees Celsius here and windy and stuff and cold. Yeah. But yeah, I decided to do a Tuesday show as Cactus is not doing a show on Buzz Radio, and it's been a while on Solar Radio also without shows. So let's listen some Amiga remixes. First track was Cube with Team Power level 3 because the third episode and so on. Yep. I have something lined up, but please make requests from Sledad.radio/request and join the chat on Sledad.radio/Discord. Yeah, let's play next track and continue with the 3 theme. Next one should be Vandahlia Lotus 3 Miami Ice special remix. Nope. Let's try again. was something. I lost my Windows. Yeah, Vandahlia with Lotus 3, my ice special remix. Yeah, I was but I was originally planning to do a show on Sunday, but we decided to take a long weekend because of the 1st of May, which was a bank day. I didn't have to work, so we went to my in-laws to Pudasjärvi, so up north at about 300 kilometers, and it was even colder than here today. It was raining, snow, horizontal and around 0 degrees, so not very springy. Yeah, but Pudasjärvi, or Lake Pudas, has it's actually second largest city in Finland if you take it on the area. Rovaniemi is I think is the biggest town, which is called city. But yeah, there is only 7,300 citizens or so you don't really see much people there on the swamps and so on. But they do have at least they say that it's a world's northest pizza factory, and so they make those frozen pizzas, and there was an ad campaign in the Finnish TV that which was based on Napoli or some town in Italy, and they call the Pudasjärvi Lago di Pudas. Yeah, but yeah, there is that pizza factory, and you can get those R&D pizzas every now and then for really cheap, so it's not really pizza, but it's okay when you are in a hurry and want to get something pretty fast in the oven. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna play, or at least try to play a demo again, and this time it's Enigma by Phenomena. Let's play that a bit later, but let me line up the next track. Well, actually, I need to find that out first, because the first requester was Ninja DNA, and wanted to hear Lost Patrol. So let's select some version here. All right. Yeah. So this is Dr.Future with Lost Patrol NAM edit. And this doesn't want to change the tracks for some reason. Oh, yep.
come in the morning.
Dr.Future with Lost Patrol NAM edit. Yeah, don't remember to press the mic mute. Apparently, when starting to play the track, Nexus Metal said that you need to set up on airlet, and I kind of have it on the iPad where I control the mute, but it's on the side there, so I should have it on somewhere on the view. Last time I was talking about Amiga OS 3.2.2 update, and burned the EEPROM and it didn't work. So first of all, when I need to open up my Amiga 1200, it's kind of painful because I have it in a custom case. So a big project to open it up and change the ROMs, but I did it and just black screen. So I thought that okay, the ROMs are faulty, took them out and put it in the Prommer and read it, and it read just fine. Tried again, still black screen. So then the next thought was that okay, I have broken something in the Amiga. But when going back to previous version of the Kickstart, it worked fine. So I just selected another set of EEPROMs and burned them, and it's working fine then. But I haven't hooked up yet it to the OBS, so cannot use that yet. So I'm still on the A600 for the demo playing. but I have the 500 with the chicken lips mechanical keyboard there on the table. Let's see. I need some requests. The list is empty. Yeah, let's play something that I have lined up next. And I'll okay, just a minute. Lost it into the lists. Yep. Ninja DNA is asking about my Amiga 1200 specs. I will tell more about that after the next track, which is going to be Armandox with a piece of magic, Armandox treatment. Armandox, a piece of magic, the Armandox treatment. Yeah, just a minute, I need to do something. 5, or was it almost 6 minutes is not enough me to fiddle up the things to get the thing tracks from another drive. Let's see. Yeah, let's talk about Amiga 1200, and actually I think I could even show that thing. Should I? Maybe. Yeah, so that 1200 I bought, I think it was in year 2000, and it was built into IBM Apidya tower case, and it was hideous, so I had to do something to it, and so I was studying at that time, and I didn't have a much budget, so I bought a VHS VCR from Antiquariat or something like that, and built the Amiga into that, and I had a Blizzard 1230 with it, and built that to look like a CD or DVD player similar, and I did it first. It was black one. It has a built-in CD drive and 2 disk drives and HDD, and a very custom power supply. Oh, it was, I think, 80 power supply, but it was missing its casing, and that led to some kind of short and bang at one point. So I, like 2 years later, rebuilt it to the same case, but this time it was silver, and so on. And then it was like 10 years that I didn't actually touch it, and so on. It's a long story. I have actually blog post about that project. But then when we moved to our own house, I dig out the Amiga again, and then decided to build it third time and make it with a bit bigger budget. I also bought a 3D printer a bit earlier, so I could use that to make things to it. But yeah, let me either get it, or maybe it's either that way. So just a minute. Always good radio to leave the listeners to wait. But yeah, it looks like this. So there is a DVD drive here. Then there is a compact flash, a second compact flash card here, so I can use that to transferring files, so on. Then there is input gain. It has a built-in sampler. There's 2 OLED displays here, and this controls the codec USB. Then keyboard connection and mouse, joystick parts and disk drive. There is built-in power supply and all the connectors. So yeah, there's audio input for the sampler, and this actually connects the sampler to the parallel port. So I can, let's keep it there. Here's a volume levels for the Bahl audio and CD audio, and HDMI from InDivision Mark III. And nowadays it has a Turbo Fire 1260 with how much? 128 megabytes of RAM. And what else? Yeah, the PCMCI slot has the network card, so I can hook it up to the internet. Yeah. So the plan is to hook it up to the OBS so I can play the demos and original music and so on from that in the future. Yeah, let's see what I had next planned. Oh yeah, we have work in progress from Proton. I need to just find the file because I think I put it here, but cannot find it. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, let's play something else before that so I can find it from my lists. So here is 7DD9 and Alien Breed Tower Assault.
is dead. You're on your own.
$7.89 Alien Breed Tower Assault. Yep, found the lost track. Let's play it. So Proton sent me working progress track called Space Debris. Proton with space debris, work in progress. Very nice. I really like it. Yeah, let's do something experimental. I haven't played videos yet on the shows. Ninja DNA wanted some decks, so let's try. I have set up OBS, so I should be able to play videos, but I haven't really tried that properly yet, so let's see. Let me see what I chose. Yeah, so no, actually it's not Pinball Vandahlia, but Pinball Illusions intro extended remix by Olof Gustafsson, I mean the original. So let's try that out. Ducks and Pinball Illusions intro. It seems to work. Yeah. Next up, I have a request from Nexus Metal, and he wanted to hear some hired guns. So here's synchaoz with hired guns Medley remake. Maybe. Let's try now. synchaoz with Hard Guns Medley remake, and it was requested by Nexus Metal, if I remember. Yeah. Shall we play a demo? I'm thinking about what I need to do. So I'm gonna play Phenomenon with Enigma demo. It's a long one, 12 minutes, but it was something that I had around already, and it has great music, so I think it plays it twice in that 12 minutes, and I have some time to line up some next tracks, so just a minute to find the thingy. There. And yeah, I have a button that should do the trick, but I need to do one thing before that. There. Yep, loading. that ends with boss fade and actually restarts. Yeah, phenomena with Enigma, and it worked. The setup is very budget. I have the composite USB capture device, which was I think less than 10 euros, and the Mac drive. There's no driver for that. It just works in the Mac, but the audio comes in mono. But there is a this thingy that you can run from command line, which then converts because it does capture in stereo, but for some reason the input device is just mono. But there's this mono to stereo command line program which takes the correct parts from the stream and makes the input stereo. But it's not too stable. I have crashed it many times while testing things, but it has been working twice at least now on the live show, so good enough. But yeah, I'm planning to hook up the 1200 to the thing, so then we can run HA demos and with HDMI video. And I also have, I forgot to tell you, I have a small amplifier in the Amiga case, which has also selectable what is it called? Cross mix. So it's not so harsh on the earphone listeners or headphone listeners. And yeah, actually I have also IR receiver on the Amiga, so I can turn it on and turn off with a remote and disable the turbo and then disable and enable the cross mix also. And then I can also control the codec drive with the remote. But yeah, let's go back to the requests. Paco requested second reality music, but I don't have that, and I think it's PC anyway. So I currently have only Amiga remixes and the mix library. Maybe at some point also I will download all the RKO torrents, but not yet. So Paco, if you want to have some Amiga music, make a new request. But yeah, Karstik wanted to hear Apidya or Turkan 2, so let's play Apidya, and I have lined up EXON's 2017's remix. So here's Apidya, Meadow's Edge. EXON Apidya Meadows EXON's 2017's remix. Yeah, hello Xini. He joined also the chat, and we are talking about CD32 and Amiga 1200s. Next up, we have a request from FS, and FS wants to hear l.f.f from Format or Nightwolf. Nightwolf Formats l.f.f 2023 remake. Yeah, Slagon, I won't play the second reality demo music. Or I will when you have coded the demo also to run on Amiga. I know that there is a version which runs on Commodore 64. And also the, what's the 8-bit guys? Commander 16. It's actually quite impressive on 8-bit machine. Next up online we have a request from, let me see. Sienna. Sienna wanted to hear Jogeir Liljedahl's Prehistoric Tale. So let's listen to that. Liljedahl and Prehistoric Tale. Yeah, I remember when I mentioned second reality demo on Commander X16 that one nice project is the Outrun arcade port to the Amiga, which is work in progress by reassembler Chris. I don't know, I remember his last name, but yeah, he has videos on the in YouTube. He has basically ported the arcade Outrun code to run on Amiga hardware. The original arcade has two 68,000 for the game, I think, and then Z80 for the music playing with Yamaha's OPL or YM something, and it's not OPL, but yeah, Yamaha chip plus PCM channels, and it was, is it 14 channel music plus the PCM channels, and reassembler has now created a program plus some Excel sheets or Google sheets, and he has used made the music port from the arcade music to Amiga mods without really using the tracker at all, I think. So really, and it's sounding really nice and has some clever tricks to put it all into 4 channels and 32 samples. You should check it out. And yep, next in line we have Aki Järvinen's R-Type title Remix, and it was requested by Lord Evil. Järvinen with R-Type title. I had something in my mind, but I totally forgot it. Yeah, I was looking for Flightpad 727 for Amiga, but didn't find it. But I have something else instead of that. But before that, I have a wrong view, apparently. Yep. FS requested complications from Encore 500 album by Peter Clarke, and actually I had another version of complications on my to play list, but I lost it also during my search for Proton's work in progress. So this suits well. So let's see him here. Let's listen to some Peter Clarke. Peter Clarke with complications from Encore 500 album. Lord Evil has tasted the long drink or Longera, the original grapefruit, and seems that liked it. It's nice. I think it was some sketch show on Finnish TV that the guy on the show told that called the Longeras medicine for the stomach. So when you're in bar in Finland and want to drink something else instead of beer and cider, then you can take the medicine Longer. The original is with gin. Some years ago, because of the alcohol laws in Finland, you couldn't sell the alcohol in grocery stores that had like real booze in it, so it had to be like brewed or something like that. And I don't know the real correct words, but so they had two versions of the Longera, one for the grocery stores and one for alcohol store, Alko. So when you wanted to have the real deal, you need to go to the Alko, or had to. Nowadays it's available from the grocery stores also. Let's see. I have empty request list, or almost empty. But there's a request from Paco about Flightpad. Actually, it's request from Flightpad 77 Amiga and wants to hear Paco. Didn't find it, but here's Gerd Bahl with Unreal Flight Level regular mix. And let's do it this way then. Gerd Bahl with Unreal Flight Level. Regular mix had like pretty long fade out. Yeah, Peter's here. Hi. Actually, that reminded me that I need to find one GIF for thing. I watched the Lost Highway yesterday and the day before that and the day before that in 3 parts because I started to watch it in the late evening and fell asleep, and then I had to the next evening go back like half an hour and then fell asleep, and last night I got it complete. But I watched it many times. But anyway, from Pete reminded me of that. Let me check the request list. No, still no requests. I might have time to play 1 or 2 if you come up with something. But before that, I'm gonna play a track from Synchaoz Volume 3, and it's Saga Music's remix from Metal Machine. Saga Music's remix of Metal Machine, and I think it's from Lotus 3. And has some parts in Tool also, I think. Is it? At least it's the Zool and Lotus 3 have shared music partly. If not the same tracks totally, but actually I think some of the tracks are same. Some are like sounding similar. And I don't have bed playing. No. Yeah, no, wrong. Yeah. Let's. No. Yep. So, next up, I have a land track from Tate. Utopia in-game. One of my favorite, all-time favorite Amiga remixes so far. So let's listen to that. When I find the correct buttons.
Lots of little niggas tell me to lyrikize my tracks, but face facts ain't no jacks. I just track tracks, play 'em back. I'm a drum and bass artist, but when I'm pissed I can't do shit. I get paralytic, it's so pathetic, but face it man, I'm not athletic. When I'm TMC, I'm proud to be artistically my girl's fantasy. She's gotta torture me in the stockings. What am I saying? Mind your business, G. Can't do a lyric in a song. It's like talking a bomb in World War One. No, I'm probably wrong, so was my mom. She said, come over here, son. Your next, you're gonna like what you're now about to hear. I said, hey mom, you know if you're worried, I definitely ain't queer. Means a lot to me. Paralysis, tracheotomy. Okay, that was the geezer that fun with me, but
data with Utopia in-game music. Yep, I think I'm done here. Thanks for joining and making your requests. It's getting easier on each show, not as sweaty as last time and one before that. Tune into Boss Radio tomorrow. Boss will do his hump show, and on Thursday Slag and Siona are back from being lazy, so there's that. And then Zeedur on Saturday, and it seems that Matt is back from his vacation next Monday. But Cactus is he's moving things next Tuesday now, so no show there. And I haven't checked my calendar yet, so well, not at least this Sunday there won't be, so but let's say maybe the next one. And did I have something else in my mind? Nope. So have a nice week and see you next time. The final track is sorry. Next track is by Lola from GP, and it's Gauntlet 3, the final quest intro theme. Bye bye.